Hello and welcome to my studio and Shop with Sally. On this episode, we will be talking about shoe organization, the very precious shoe. Now, in considering shoe organization, I was thinking about what's important when I organize my shoes, either for my own personal closet or my studio. And for me, the most important thing in my closet or wherever I'm going to choose to put my shoes, sometimes I have an entire closet just dedicated to shoes, and I'll get shelves built into the closet, so it's just a huge closet full of shoes. Or I'll get one of those rails. You can find them for about 60 bucks on Amazon. I'll have them linked here, where it's just a complete wall of shoes that you can put either on the back of your closet or maybe in a wall if you have a room big enough for a closet. I don't know, I have a couple friends who have rooms as closets. So, whatever's going to be best for you to clearly see your shoes. If you don't have a ton of room to store shoes like that, where you can do a whole closet for shoes, or where you can do a whole wall of shoes, then I would recommend doing shoes. They have those single shelves that you can buy and stack, and doing all of your shoes along the bottom of your closet. So you can stack up as high as your clothes go, just so when you open the door, your clothes are hanging, and then below you can see all your shoes from one straight shot. That's really good if you have a smaller closet. If you have a really small apartment and you definitely don't have room on the bottom of your closet for your shoes, I also like, if you're into this kind of thing, those shoe hooks that go over the top of the closet. Again, I'll put those here. Not the closet, top of the door. Those door hanging shoe racks. Those are really handy. Or they also have the ones that can go around your closet rod if you just want to have one single space in your closet for your shoes, and you can get it down to like 20 pair. I can't do that, but hey, maybe you can. Organized, that way you can hang them in your closet next to your clothing. So if you have room to put it on the door, maybe on the bathroom door or on the front door, or the closet door, that's a good option for another way of keeping your shoes where you can clearly see them, and also it keeps them off the ground and safe. I never recommend storing them on the ground in a place where they can be kicked around. That causes damage. So my whole thing around storing or organizing shoes is keeping them in good shape so you can have them forever, and keeping them to where they won't get marked, scuffed, or any kind of damage. And so you can clearly see them, because if you can't clearly see them, how are you going to style yourself? For me, it's like if it's out of sight, out of mind. So to me, the most important thing is organizing it the best place where you get dressed every day. I've also in the past, because I've had roommates and my own no shoes policy inside, where I'll put all the shoes right next to my front door. When I had my huge loft in New York, I had one of those big IKEA shelves, like the square box shelves. I'll put that link here as well. Those are great to store shoes in, especially if you have a lot of pretty shoes that you don't mind showing off when people walk in the front door. That's always a good idea as well. Okay, let's talk about storing shoes, or how to put shoes away if you're just going to put them in another closet or put them under your bed or something like that. You want to put them away because you're not going to use them for now. I like to, if you can, keep the shoebox. Obviously, I'm a big Celine fan. This shoebox, as you can see, because it's all scuffed up, has been through the ringer, but most importantly, it has protected my shoes. So I like to keep the shoe boxes, if you have space to do it, and keep the shoebox that the shoes came in, because they usually will be best to pack them back into that shoebox. I also have these boxes that I get from Container Store. You can also get them at Target. They're good for like sneakers and like smaller shoes, like these Giles shoes I have that are just kind of your classic sandals. Cost like $1.99 per box, I'm pretty sure. So it can get a little pricey. I have a bazillion of them. But at least I know this is going to keep my shoes from getting scrunched or getting scuffed by another shoe. Those are good, but I feel like the original shoe boxes are better. And I also like to keep intact. As you can see, I have my shoe bags, because I like to keep these in case I'm going to travel with that pair of shoes. I do pack my shoes in my shoe bag, because then they won't get scuffed in my carry-on, because I pack everything in one bag, so there's usually a lot of crap. But I want to protect them, and I keep the tissue in the box, you can see, and try to put them back in the way where they, how they were when I bought them, so they'll stay intact as they're stored. I also like to, you can see I put some women's wear daily in here. I like to stuff the shoe just so you can make sure that it's not going to collapse or get smushed. That'll damage, like these are satin, that'll damage the satin, and they have a little bit of leather, and you can see there's all the fur, and these actually got eaten a little bit by moths because I didn't have the moth protection in my closet at the time. Yeah, so, I mean, I just think it's important to stuff your shoes. I do this for any shoe that has any kind of structure. Obviously, when you have a sandal like this, you don't really need to do it, but when you have something like this, it's just really important so they don't get all damaged to put a little bit of newspaper. If your shoe is white, I wouldn't recommend newspaper because it can actually rub off on the leather or the suede or the satin. So in that case, I would just buy a pack of tissue paper from the gift wrapping store or wherever, Amazon, and just do white tissue paper in the shoe. So if you're storing the shoes, just make sure that you have them properly wrapped in tissue, have them stuffed. You know, keep your shoe bags with the shoes. And another layer of protection, and then store them fully. And if you need to write, like this isn't the exact box, this is actually from a different pair of sleeves. Even though those are sleeves, these are a different pair of sleeves that I actually have out in my closet right now that I'm wearing. So I'll mark what I have on there. That is the one thing, like what shoe I have there, or put a Polaroid, or sorry, there's no Polaroids anymore, but print a picture from Instagram or wherever from your camera roll of which shoe is in there. So when you store them, you don't have to go and open every box to figure out what's in there. That's what I do like about these, is that you can clearly see what's in the box from just looking at them. So that's always good. The good thing also about keeping shoe boxes or storing in shoe boxes is that you can stack high, and of course these easily fit under beds. So if you don't have a storage unit, I have a huge storage unit with shelves in it, so I just stack them on up. If you don't, they can always slide under the bed or go on top of your closet in those really high shelves. Or I also have done a lot of storage for my shoes in my kitchen on the high, because I'm not a big cooking person necessarily. So there's always weird drawers and crap that I'm not using in my cabinets in my kitchen. So that's another good place to store handbags and shoes if you want. I learned that from a friend of mine in New York. When you have very little space, you learn to utilize everything. So the other thing to think about when you are storing shoes is your boots. Now these are obviously very big thigh-high boots. I would recommend storing these in a garment bag, like a super clear garment bag like you get from the dry cleaner, the see-through ones, and just tie a knot at the top and a knot at the bottom, or tie a knot at the top, put the boots in there, and then tie a knot again at the bottom so they're safe together. But make sure that you stuff them with newspaper or tissue first, because if the boots are folded over, and the leather is folded over like that for a long amount of time, it can damage the leather and you'll permanently have like not good creases in your boots, like forever. Some people like to put these on clamps in their closet. I don't like to do that because it actually can damage the leather. The other thing, like I mentioned before, is I do recommend when you're traveling to organize your shoes in the shoe bags that they come with. If you don't get shoe bags with your shoes, then I would put them in like a grocery store bag or a Ziploc baggie, just so, number one, the bottoms of your shoes don't get dirty on get your clothes dirty or anything else in your bag dirty, and also to protect them in case anything in your bag spills or explodes. It keeps a layer of any kind of weird moisture or anything else that might get on your shoes, especially if you have nice expensive shoes, keeps them from getting damaged. So I think it's important, whenever you're traveling, make sure you stuff your shoes. I think even when you have your shoes just sitting in your closet, it's really good if they're expensive shoes to stuff them with tissue or newspaper or one of those, they have those wooden tree shoe things, fillers. I'll put those here. What are they called? Shoe trees, I think. I don't know, I might be making that up. But I'll put it in there. And then make sure that when you store them, that you put them in some sort of box so they're taken care of. I've had shoes stored before in those clear plastic bags, and it completely damaged the shoes. They got all bent out of shape and the leather got messed up. So I always recommend storing in boxes, organizing them in your closet where you can clearly see them, and if you're going to travel, make sure that they're stuffed and in a shoe bag. My last recommendation is to keep your edit of shoes down to 20 pair or less if you can at a time. I only say this because nobody wears more than 20 pairs of shoes at a time. I try to keep mine down to 20. I personally own hundreds of shoes, just scary but true. And you never wear more than 20 pairs of shoes at a time. So every season, do a refresh, put whatever you're not using into storage, you know, choose your one pair of good athletic shoes that you're using at the time, one pair of like cute casual athletic shoes, like the Sneaker Freak stuff that I recommended the other day, and then have your edit of flats and your edit of heels and then your edit of boots. I wear boots year round. I don't think it's a seasonal thing, whatever. So that's my recommendation. Enjoy sorting your precious shoes. I do. And see below for my links and recommendations for the best shelves and stuff to put in your closet. Okay, check you later.